to focus on the skin.
Right.
Crystalline, you more internal based. You looking at everything from the inside out, not the outside in. And now you can see with your spiritual eye, or what they call your crystal eyes, your Ujek and Uraeus,
Uh-huh.
with your higher wisdom and your controlled lower nature.
Uh-huh.
Right? They always tell us about the cobra on the crown, but they never tell us about the vulture.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your lower nature. The
Mm-hmm.
vulture is the lower nature that you've conquered.
Mm-hmm.
And the cobra is your higher nature that you've mastered. It's two different struggles going on in the individual. And W.B. Bush wrote about it. He called it the warring soul.
Right.
Right? The part of the self that want to go along with society at large, and the part of the self that want to truly express itself from its purest source.
Uh-huh.
Right? So you're talking your spiritual self versus your ego self. Your ego is the sum total of everything that you've ever been told about yourself that may or may not be true, but you accepted it as so because that defined who you was from the external world's perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
you trying to live your life fitting into the perspective of everything you agreed to in your ego, and you haven't even tested it to see if it's compatible with who you are.
Very interesting. Let's go through a couple of historical terms, Rod. We're talking about melanin. We're talking about race. And once again, family, if you're just joining us, there was a Senate hearing with RFK. I advise y'all to go see what's going on. Very interesting things have been happening since Trump has been president. I cannot lie. He's really shaking things up. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it. But things are being shaken up. That's one thing we all could agree on, whether you like it or not like what's going on.
You
Things
remember
are,
I told you as soon as you take office, everything gonna speed up.
yeah, you did say that. Indeed. Let's go through a couple of historical terms to try to figure out who we are, where we come from, and how we got here, Rod. Let's talk, and this is a term me and you talk about on the phone. We haven't talked about on the internet, Neanderthals. Now, that
Right.
was a term, a lot of brothers use that term to insult.
The pale-faced tribes tie up. I guess they mentioned, I think they're talking about the East Coast tribes, Raw, the ones that came with Andrew Jackson mixing with people, the $5 Indians, pretty much.
Well, some of them is not. Everybody worried about how the people look, where they at. No, the America, the Great Melting Pot, people came here to mix DNA.
That's right. Let's get it.
They came here to mix DNA. Nature knows no color line. Dr. Clark said that race was a construct of man used to accomplish a purpose.
Right.
Divide and conquer is the rule.
Right.
We so worried about when we gonna get the land back, when we gonna kick these people off the land. We need people to work the land. Half the people asking that is not gonna do no farm labor longer than 2-3 days, and they quitting. I'm telling you that now. Then they already get money too.
Right.
They got money in there, and they're not doing none of that. You have to love tending to the farm because you tending to the family. You got to have it in your soul. And we've been forced to work undercut on pay for so long. When we get some money, we ain't gonna want to work. We ain't gonna want to do the labor required to operate a farm. But we gonna need farms operated because there might not be no more grocery stores. And you might not be able to get food if you ain't tied to a farm. Just like you might not be able to access your money if you ain't tied to a family bank, because it's going to be a decentralized banking system.
Right.
Right. So a lot of people want to know what to study the process of family banking before you have to establish a family bank. Learn how it works. Learn what you can and cannot do with the family bank. Learn how you use the family bank to secure assets.
Right.
Right. And all of your legal paperwork, like family trust, bonds, and stuff like that, will be handled through your family bank. Right. And so the trade in produce is going to be restricted to family trade. We ain't going to have grocery stores for a while.
That's what I think too.
Because they got to get rid of all of the GMO. That's going to drastically reduce. It's going to shut a lot of grocery stores now, because you would be surprised how much food got GMO in it. And they didn't change the name of it. That's what Dr. G-Mo make sure I said. They changed the name of it. But it's still genetically modified organisms in the food.
Yeah.
So we want food from Mother Nature, grown in nutritious environment, so it can have the proper nutrition to fertilize the body.
Right.
If we can't come to that one agreement across the land, we in trouble.
If it don't got no seed in it, we don't want it no more. It don't got no seeds. We don't want nothing without no seeds.
You can grow seedless watermelon from natural watermelons. They used to just pop up here and there sporadically, but the farmers know how to mix and match where they can grow seeded and unseeded watermelon in 2 different patches now. I
like it all. I like both kinds, but the seed one got this more. It got more of a richer taste to it to me. The one with the seeds.
Well, that goes to how much nutrition in the ground, because the sweetest and juiciest and most flavorful watermelon is grown in the most nutritious soil.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, I'm good.
A lot of these people growing it in borderline sand. They growing it in dirt, this clay and dirt mixed together. So it's not getting a lot of nutrition into the melon itself.
That makes sense. Watermelon right now, boy.
Back in 1932, they had a Senate hearing on the nutrition in the farming soil. And they said back then that the farming soil has become so nutrient depleted from over farming that in the future people was gonna have to supplement for to stabilize their vitamin intake in order to be healthy. And we show supplement today.
Yeah. I noticed in America, another thing that's a lot of stuff that's banned in America. I mean, they let it happen in America, like far as the food, but in other countries they banned it, like Fruton corn syrup. When I went to Mexico, I drank one of their sodas. It tastes way different, and I found them where they sell them over here, where we get them over here now. The Mexican soda, and yeah, but it don't got that Fruton corn syrup in it. And that's bad.
High fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
That is a appetite stimulant. It make you hungry.
Damn, that's deep. Well, I'm about to go look into that.
High fructose
the whole time with that shit.
Yeah, that's why they used to give it to the babies. K-Roll corn syrup. They used to simmer it in condensed milk to make baby formula before we had Similac.
That's deep. Yeah, but they also got like certain things that's on the shelf over here. Even like the rich crackers, they banned. Pork is banned. Chicken is banned. All kind of meat. All meat from America is banned. You know what I'm saying?
That's because they use those steroids. If you pay attention for the last 5 years, we had an unprecedented amount of slaughterhouses, farms, and processing plants of large quantities of chicken, pork, beef. All of them been catching fire.
Damn.
And the farmers was told to set them on fire so they could get the insurance payout. Because they got to they got to get rid of the GMO stock anyway. If they just take it and try to sell it to the disposal place to turn them into fertilizer or something, they can't do that because they GMO. They have to burn them up anyway. But if they was to try to sell them to somebody for the landfill or something, they wouldn't make no ways near the money they would in the insurance claim. And the insurance has been told that they can't deny the farmer's claim. So all of the ones that know they was growing GMO, genetically modified food, they can go burn that shit up and just get the insurance payout and go ahead and get them some fresh stock of organic food.
Now another thing that I've seen, I want to ask you about this. I saw the Amish, I think it was in New Jersey. Somebody can drop it in the chat where it was exactly. But they were selling their own milk. And then the government raided them and took all their milk and said that they couldn't sell. They were selling original natural milk. And they milk didn't look like the milk that we see on the shelf. They milk had a yellow tint to it. Like all they milk.
That's because it's not homogenized.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's a whole different, and then they might put some kind of preservatives in it to keep it from going bad too. That's natural, like lemon juice or some kind of fruit juice or something.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, so the FDA or whoever these guys is, they raided them and made them pour all their stuff out, so they couldn't be selling it no more. So I wonder how
that's overstepping their jurisdictional authority.
That's what I said too. That's what they're saying. Like these people got nationality. They on a whole nother different outlook than just a regular.
That was the corporation trying to show you they got some power more than anything else.
That's what I thought. I said there must be some big whizzes at one of them big gallon milk places that sent they hitters down to shut these guys down. But I say it's gonna be some come from that. They probably gonna sue the hell out of them people and get their money back for that, when they all come down.
The government gotta compensate them.
Yep. The
they already knew that when they went in there.
They just want to make it look on TV, make it look good for TV. Make an example out of them. This for the next guys that want to sell their own milk.
That's called theatrical effect.
Man. That's crazy. All right, we'll take one more question, y'all. We'll get out of here. Y'all. We got one more. Give us a hot one for Rod before we get out of here. Give us a hot one, y'all. Hey, y'all, if y'all want to show Rod some love on the Cash App, although he don't do it for money, we got about 2,000 people in here, man. Everybody send them $1 right now, and that'll put them in the game. You ain't gonna miss $1. What else we got? Hey, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Here we go right here. We got the question right here for you, Rod. Somebody says, how can I get you both to cook out a cookout and have a good old southern? Oh, man, I'll be glad to come to that shit, boy. I'm telling you. You talking about some cooking now. Some good southern cooking.
I can't do nothing until I get out of this cave situation. I gotta see the flip. But you never know when it's full coast to coast party jump off. Me and Elders stuff to pop up at anybody party.
Yeah, especially if you got some greens and hot water cornbread at that joint.
And some fried chicken.
Man, some greens, some hot water cornbread, some black eyed peas with rice, or some purple hood peas. Oh yeah, man. And you better have some peach cobbler too, man. When I pull up on it, man, I'm telling you. Some of that peach and some pecan pie.
It depends on where I go, what I want.
Big mama pecan pie, huh? I'm telling
you. It depends on where I go, what I'm gonna want.
I'm telling you, yeah, it depends. Like if I'm down it depends. It depends on where you at in the South. Yeah, because they got different, they got different dishes in different areas down south as far as what soul food is. In Louisiana, they cook gumbo, etouffee, jambalaya. I'm talking about the good shit. The cornbread, man, bumping. Y'all making me hungry right now. Man.
Look, that's the same as Southwestern cuisine, except it's cooked different.
Yeah.
That's the Mississippi. That's the Mississippi cooking method, or from those tribes over there. They like to cook stuff slow and at a lower temperature. In the Southwest, it's hot out, so you want to get from in front of you want to cook as little as possible. So a lot of your stuff is a bunch of fresh vegetables chopped up, mixed in with something that you might simmer for a few minutes.
Makes sense. Somebody said, "Oh, he still eat chicken?" Look, man. Somebody say, "Yeah, man. Hey, No, over here we didn't really eat. Only thing that's making us sick really with the meat is because of how they doing it now, and two of how that we didn't fry no meat. We ain't never fry. All we did is we smoked it. We we barbecued. We some barbecuing niggas, man. Mississippi, Louisiana, we some barbecuing niggas,
It
man.
depended on where we was at. We had all kind of cooking techniques, but
But that frying with the oil, they brought that
yeah,
over here, man.
no.
We roasted in the ground. We
Yeah,
rotisserie it.
it depend on the tribe.
Yeah, it depends on the tribe.
You had tribes that tribes that used to put their meat in hot grease.
Okay, yeah. So they must have came from over there, them with the Moors.
No, I'm talking about tribes that been here. Most of the cooking techniques over here is ancient.
Go ahead. Makes sense. I know the flat bread, we used to eat flat. We ain't never eat the yeast bread. We always ate flat bread, just like they say in the Hebrew scripture. Because over here, the natives we always cooked the flat breads. And then we ate that other kind of bread too, but mostly it was flat bread over here, just like the Mexicans eat. We ate tortillas and shit like that over here.
We ate cornbread.
Yeah, cornbread. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cornbread. But there's more than one way to cook cornbread. But we got a particular way we like it. But there's so many different types of corn that breads you can make from the corn.
Right.
Right. You can make the loaf bread from corn.
Yep, you can. Yeah.
You know, but you just use the cornmeal is more coarse that you make traditional cornbread with.
Yeah, I like some cornbread, but yeah, we don't do pig, man. We don't do no hog. I don't like hog.
It didn't used to be pigs over here. They're not native over here.
Yeah, that's right. Do we have boars?
No, we didn't have.
We just had We just had buffalo, fish.
We had different kind of birds. Like the way that we like chicken now, we had other birds that was called yard birds. Chicken is now the yard bird that replaced the bird that we used to eat.
Yeah, see, I heard that perspective too. I heard that we didn't mess with that dodo bird. That's why the Moors, when they came over here, they started eating it, and because the dodo bird would walk right up to them. See, birds would come right to us. Before they came, before the conquistadors came, birds would fly right out and land on our arm. And it's like we had a connection with the birds. But then when they came, now birds don't want to even mess with you over here no more. Our energy field is something different.
Hey, the birds say, all you humans look alike to me.
Yeah, all you humans look alike now. I saw a dude, like back in the day, some dude go out there and stand one of them chiefs, and then a mountain lion come up and he pet the mountain lion. I said, damn. Like, so we must have some kind of connection back then with the animals that we don't got now. Like we
did.
Huh?
We did. We was one with nature.
Yeah.
Right. This is what a lot of the old tribal leaders keep telling us, that we disconnected from nature to be connected to modern technology. Right. We have to disconnect from modern technology to reconnect with nature.
Makes sense.
Man, I had all kind of animals walk up to me supposed to just tear me up.
Yeah.
When I was a little boy, they used to send me in the yard where the mean dog was to get the ball because it go over the fence.
Yeah.
Go get Rod. He'll go in there and get it. My dumb ass went right in there and get it too. Dog be jumping up, looking me in the face. I'm fighting this big old hairy dog. He trying to kill every other child in the neighborhood. He's licking me all in the face. Get on off me. Let me get this ball. He wagging his tail. He rock. They used to call me Dr. Doolittle when I was younger.
Yeah, I seen that a lot. I seen my son like that. He did that. Like this dog, my brother dog. Nobody can walk up to that dog. That dog will rip your cheek off your ass. But my daddy ended up shooting that dog because he bit him. But my son can walk right up to him, mean ass dog, and just pat him. And yeah, calm down. I'm like, man, that dog right there, I don't get close to him. I'm telling you. That's so. Hey, I'm telling you, it's like something. It's a fear, or it's an energy field that you give off that dog can recognize. Because they can't see, like they see other things like frequencies and things, and hear, they can hear certain things. They can hear your heartbeat, a dog. They can hear your energy field.
You want to hear something funny, Elder?
Go ahead.
When I was a youngster, we were staying on Sanford Street in Pontiac, right? About 3, 4 houses down, this dude got these highly trained attack Dobermans. There's 2 of them, and they train to watch his wife when he go to work. When he get off work, he come home, we take him out the house, he put him in the kennel outside. And everybody come up that kennel, they tear their tail up. Look, one day, some just told me that he was like, they using them dogs to do some evil stuff. Let them go. So I let them go. They was jumping up, licking on me like trying to high five me. If anybody ever seen how Dobermans act, you know what I'm talking about. But it looked like they're trying to high five and they jumping up with their paw, and then they took off running. Damn. And so I let the man dogs go. They come down there and told my mama, I think your son let that man dogs out. Them dogs chasing everybody through the neighborhood. I don't know what we gonna do. And my mama came in and she was like, why you let them dogs out? I was like,
them dogs loving you, boy. I tell you, like, man, the only time they got to be free, really. Like to get out.
The silver water in order to create a artificial melanin barrier.
Man.
They didn't have screen sunblock back then.
Right. What let me ask you this, Rod, because you somebody, you know, they say in the chat, they like you cooking. Do you, I might ask you this before, have you ever remote viewed before, Rod? Because you know a lot of history, brother.
I study remote viewing until I got good at it, and I found that it worked real good with my tarot cards.
So what did you find out when you was remote viewing with your tarot cards, brother?
Different stuff I ask, different questions. I haven't pulled a deck of cards out, Brother Rich, in about 4 years to do a reading because they be too spooky accurate to me. So the message come in slower and I can read it better if I don't use the cards, because then I get sensory overload. And then I see too much, and then I be like, I'm gonna put all this stuff together, and then I can't rest until I put it all together.
Right. Somebody said, why was there only one female Smurf?
That's Hollywood, because Hollywood want everybody to be tutti fruities.
Man, we done went to man. All right, so Rod, all right, check this out. Since we going to we going in a lot of places tonight, family, to just discover our origins and who the different races and species we've been through time. Blue, green, black, olive, white, all these different colors. Rod, let's go to another cartoon. The Thundercats. Historically, if you're talking about the Anunnaki, people say the Thundercats represent the Larians, I think. Larians or Larian?
Larians.
Where do they pop up in history? If we're talking about the Anunnaki, where the hell do they, because they're supposed to be older than the Anunnaki, I believe. So where do they pop up?
So first of all, the Anunnaki is it's like a United Nations of galactic species.
Okay. Now that's a great way to say it. Oh, and all right, I'm gonna let you answer this. Then I gotta follow. Go ahead. I'm excited. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so you know who Sekhmet is?
Yeah.
The priestesses of Sekhmet were taught originally by Lyran priestesses. Then under Sekhmet, you have other cat goddesses like Bast. Right? Bast is the Lyran defense team. They the stealth bombers of the House of the Cat.
Mm-hmm.
The ones who carry the black cat totem is in the form of the Black Panther is the priest, because the Black Panther is the black leopard, and the leopard is the garb of the ancient priesthood. So you know they totem animal, you know they purpose here. Like Tupac's totem animal is the cat, but his spirit animal is the dragon,
See
the
this, right?
shining serpent.
See this?
Yeah, the tiger.
But go ahead, though. I had to show that.
Yeah. You know they got black tigers too.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they still call Black Panthers. But see, down you coming from the east under your ancient Arabic order, the nobles of the mystic shrine, with the simulation of the crescent moon as the fangs of the Bengal tiger, right? The K9s. K9 is 9/11, by the way.
The K9, yeah.
K9 is 9/11. K is the 11th letter.
Right.
Right. So it's 11/9, but on the flip, it's 9/11. Okay, so the Lyrans is over the spiritual initiation rites and training of the house of the cat. And that's who got usurped out of Vatican City. Vatica is the cat they was all obsessed with. And that's why they became cataholics, or as you say, Catholic.
Oh, shit, man. Come on, man. Oh, he took it there, y'all. He took it
that was the sacerdotal seat.
He took it there. The cataholics or the Catholics, he took it there. Man, you took it there, Rod. Oh, man. Shit. This is a classic show, y'all.
I had some good master teachers.
This is a classic show.
I'm just a class tutor.
Man. Yo, so was the Great Pyramid in Egypt, you know, the Great Pyramid in Egypt, was that left by the Larians? Was that left there by them?
No, that was left there by Tahuti.
Because they say it was a cat or something like that with wings or some shit. Like I don't heard a lot of different things, man.
No, the Sphinx was a female. All of the Sphinx of the world was females.
Right.
Later they tried to alter the faces of them and then even cast male sphinxes. But the Sphinx was the Leo waiting on the return of the three kings, which is represented by the three pyramids, which is represented by the three stars of Orion's belt. The jewels of the great father who walk among the skies is the three high chiefs, which is the three sky chiefs. And the three sky chiefs is represented by as above, so below. They walk in human form as three chiefs, but they also represent a spiritual frequency. And the one in the middle, right, that's the one who's responsible to hold the love key. So you look at the symbolism of the three kings biblically, and the symbolism, the frankincense, the gold, and I think the other one was silver. The frankincense is the spiritual essence. That's why they use it in all of the rituals. It's symbolism of spiritual essence. The gold is the heart chakra, right? And the heart chakra is the wealth of eternity if you can find true love, right? Searching for a heart of gold. And the silver is your connection to your motherland, right? So it's your brother from another mother, and y'all got to redeem the great mother in order to restore the great father. Takes you back to the holy drama, Isis, Set, and Osiris. Hey, look, Rick, a couple guys try to correct me about Set, because I keep telling them that the biblical Satan is Set, right? And they think that what I'm telling them is who Set was. And I'm not telling them who Set was. I'm telling them how they used Set's name. You got to understand, they took our stories from ancient history, rewrote them and reworked them to give us a whole different story, but leave enough of it for us to find the source information.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Wow. So all right. A lot of people. All right. So we've. I mean, we at the hour mark, family. I mean, this was like. I mean, Rod was sizzling all night. I mean, he was smoking all night with this information. And we talked a lot about race and the concept of race, and when the concept was introduced in the different colors we've experienced. I'm gonna take a couple of questions from the people, but one last question I want to ask is: we see, the whole race paradigm and what that has done. When was the first? They say that the oldest war that took place was between man and woman. When was it, we talked about this nuclear war that happened, this nuclear winter? When was the first time that man and woman went at it? And if we're going to talk about this great mother so much, I guess the divine feminine lost power, if that's the proper way to say it.
That takes us right back to Lord Set. The word En means Lord in Semitic language, ancient Semitic language and hieroglyphics and Sumerian. En mean Lord or master of something. And Set is the antithesis of Osiris. He is the uncle who comes to steal his brother's throne, right? The origin of the story is the biblical war in heaven that landed on earth, was about birthright to the earth, mitochondrial right to rule, and as the creator gods, goddesses, gods, and ruler god is the Y chromosome rulership right. Earth being a feminine planet supposed to be under matriarchal order in order for it to have heavenly qualities in the physical form. So the war that started on heaven was actually a war in Nibiru between siblings, twins, a brother and a sister. And the brother did not want to relinquish the jurisdictional authority of Earth to the matriarchy. So he tried to instill his wife from a mirror universe as the divinity of the Earth to create the 6,000-year rule. But that's all after the war took place, started on Nibiru, is where they set it off. And then they end up coming to Earth in conclusion to fight it out in the Pleiadian light lock that we call the Van Allen belt. So we sitting here looking at the aftermath of all of the first war, and all wars being battles in that great war.
What was the name of the brother and sister for those who don't know, Rod?
It's written in the story of Inanna, which is supposed to be the story of Inanna and Enlil's conflict. So when the uncle went to take power from the mother, the son overheard it. And they say Michael, but it wasn't Michael. It was Michelle. Because all of those archangels that they talk about was females that guarded the throne of the great mother. And that's why they was like, this angel sit on this hand of God, and this angel sit on this, and this angel the foot of God. All they telling you is they position around the throne to protect the great mother.
So you trying to tell me right now, Rod, that Archangel Michael was really Archangel Michelle?
Yeah.
Well, there you go again. There you go again with this shit, man.
Okay, you got to understand Anunnaki psychology and how they go to war.
Right.
They like to change the name, right? Or they like to name somebody, they want to replace somebody the same name. Mm-hmm. When they call that the hidden of the god. When they sing Medusa, Medusa just means she was a Psi priestess, rank number 10, meaning that she was the Alpha and Omega of Psi priestess, meaning that she had the right to train Gorgons under her. That wasn't her name. That was her rank and her title because of her rank, Medusa. She was a Gorgon. A Gorgon is a goddess of the water, birth priestess. Sa, like Sa-Neter. Sa means God. Sa-Neter means God of the birth priestesses. Or spirit or energy of the earth priestesses. So you have Sa-Neter. Sa is the doula priestesses, the birth bringers and the welcoming of the children into the new world. And these are the ones that became nuns when the Catholic Church was hostily taken over. But before that, they was the priestesses of Mami Water, the Delphi priestesses, the oracles of the earth, the 12 daughters of Isis. Right now, they've been relegated to the primordial abyss, so now they just call them the New. They sent them back to the Great Mother. They put them all in black, but they're supposed to be wearing white because they're supposed to be welcoming the light. Switcheroo.
Man, oh man. We're gonna get to I ain't gonna be on here too long tonight. Me and Rod getting ready to do something. I've been talking about a while, but we're finally gonna do this Patreon this coming week. Family, we're doing this Patreon part 2 to the ESP. It's finally going down. Telepathy, extrasensory perception, all that good stuff. We're gonna do the part 2 to that. It's gonna be absolutely insane. Another announcement before I get to the Q&A. The non-ether. Yo, Rod, did you see the non-ether God Fest about did you hear about that yet, Rod?
Yeah, a couple people called me and told me about it.
Oh, it's going down big time, Rod. Oh, it's going down big time, Rod. Rod, it's going down big time, man. Yo, bro, man, the people that's gonna be there, oh my God.
When is it?
February 8th. I believe that, yeah, it's in 8 days. Yeah, February 8th, next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday. We got Griff, we got Billy Carson, Dr. Be Serious, Sharif Bey, Sister Myra, Aaron Lyons, Soleil, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Hank Risenson, B-Dell, just yesterday, Priestess, I said Rob Men's gonna be there. I mean the lineup is absolutely insane. Loaded Lux, the battle rappers, Loaded Lux gonna be there. Cam Botter's gonna be there. I mean, Rob, man, this is.
Hey, you had me at Aaron Lyons.
Man,
you know that's my girl there. You know, when you see people channeling,
yeah,
and you know from the message that the channel is crystal clear. Man, that makes like somebody else can do some work other than me.
Are you talking about
Aaron Lyons?
Yeah, Aaron, yeah, she's sharp with her channeling, right? She's sharp with it.
She the MF and true.
Damn, yeah, she's sharp with it. She is sharp.
But she had me when you asked her about the diet, and she talked about you're supposed to instinctually eat. Because most people be trying to push the vegan thing so hard because the vegan thing then turned into a cult.
A religion, yeah.
You know, no religion, a full-blown cult. They will F you up.
Yeah.
About going against the vegan.
Yeah.
Right? They starting to get violent with it. You know, but they got to remember that half of the vegans wasn't always vegans. Different people was at different levels of development. If you want to help them to the next level and you want them to, they might not supposed to be vegan. Everybody ain't supposed to follow the same diet. That's why they have a book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. Right? Because they show you the diet that's most compatible with your ancestral program. Blood type is altered through diet.
Yeah. Let's get to some quick Q&A before we get out of here, family. Absolutely amazing show. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say with the God Fest, it's gonna be on Patreon. So that's another thing. If you are a Patreon, it's gonna be recorded, and I'm gonna throw it on the Patreon for the family. So if you're a Patreon member, you will be able to view the non-ether God Fest. All right, family. Let's get to some we're gonna start with the question I see right in front of me right now. Static Shock says, who are the modern day Washita people and what is their importance today?
All of the tribes are scattered across the land And the Washita was a family network. Most of them kept the last name. In English, is commonly called Washington. The name Washington comes from the name Washita, which comes from the name Wachita, right? And the bigger the family get, you have what's called sub-tribes, where Uncle Philip didn't want to stay in Big Papa house. He got too big for his britches. So Big Mama sent him to go set up another farm over there in another family unit. He became the chief of his own clan, and he gave it his own name. So you can't say no one people is any one thing now because of the fact of us being scattered across the land. But we can trace back to where our longest and said, like I can trace back to Macomb, Magnolia, Mississippi on my motherland, and back to Canton on my fatherland. Right. So I know that on my fatherland had a heavy Chata influence, and one of my aunties said she was Chata, one of my father's aunties, and told me we were Chata. On my mother's side, she was down there, and I don't have the. They say we Cherokee, but there's no record of Cherokee that I was able to find from my grandfather's land down in Magnolia, Mississippi. Right? It a lot of them are Chickasaw and Chata and just Mississippi. Right? Even when you say Mississippian, you could just as well say Olmec, Inca, Maya, and Aztec. It's the same people in different time periods. And that's why they try to trick us and tell us they different people at different times.
Next question, Rod. So, they want to know, who was the black lady found on the crashed spacecraft on the backside of the moon?
They call her Mona Lisa. And she had this particular breathing apparatus on and looking apparatus. I'm not sure. I don't think they found that on the moon. I think they found her in Arizona. That's my opinion. But the moon is a whole spaceship, so.
Right. Next question. This is I don't. They just said, how about the Negas? Well, I don't know what they want to know. It's kind of
the Nagas Kings was from the Indus Valley. It was a time where world power was shifted from empire to empire. The Nagas Kings is when the empire that we call India today, which is the Ayurvedic line of kingship that was handed down through the Aryans. Those were the Nagas kings. Those are the same ones we was talking about earlier, Rich. The Dravidians, the Untouchables, the ones that like the Jacksons back in the early 70s when they had the afros and the big nose.
Right. Indeed. Let's get to this next question. What's your take on multiple plane crashes, as another plane just crashed in Philly?
Yeah, the chaos on the way out. The falling system got to create the chaos, but it's cold. Like Phase 1 did a good breakdown on the ritualistic aspect. D-Dale did one, and then this is another sister. She on my I posted hers on my Facebook page. They all gave good breakdowns on the symbolism behind it. Right. So I give you them as references because they're gonna give you more details than I'm gonna give you right now because I'm in my dilly gap mode.
Okay. Let's get to the next question. What was the relationship between the Mississippians and the Arawak?
Most of the tribes was cordial before they begin to be set against each other by the invaders. Even the warring tribes, when we was warring with each other, we wasn't nothing but a fist fight and everybody went home. It was when the settlers came, put guns in our hands, and we started killing each other.
Somebody, hold up. Somebody asked about your Cash App. I done wrote it so many times. I remember. Hold up. SikApe, right, Rod?
Yeah.
Let me put that up here. Yeah. For those who wanna inquiring about supporting the brother Rod Hayes, you can hit the Cash App up. $ SIKAPE is the way that you can support this genius brother we got here. I don't know what to call him, man, but the brother was channeling, he was tapped in tonight. He was definitely tapped in. He, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's smoking on, but goddamn, the brother was tapped in tonight. So yeah, you can support the brother with Cash App, brother. Show the brother some love. This was a solid hour of information that I think every melanated folk, now we're all melanated, it's just different varying levels of melanin. But everybody, human being, should hear this show that was broadcast tonight. So make sure you'll support the brother $ SIKAPE. We're gonna do 2 more questions, y'all. I can't be on here too long, and I don't want to keep the brother too long. We're gonna do 2 more, then we're gonna get out of here. Somebody, do you know who this is? Somebody said, can you talk about the Rainbow Warriors prophecy? What's that, Rod? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that was when, at the end of the Piscean age, the native elders, our elders from this land, prophesied that it will be a rainbow of tribes from different skin colors.
Mm.
And they would come together in the time of the crystal generation to usher in another world, a better world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an old prophecy. And most of it, if you asking about it, you already know what the prophecy is.
Indeed. Let's get to another question. Okay. Somebody said, who are the Abyssinians / Ethiopians in relation to us? Are they dirty Moors?
The Ethiopians is a whole different genetic stock from the ones we call dirty Moors, and they are different genetic stock from us. They got a different father line. So mitochondrially, we might be more related than we is by Y chromosome. And that was once known as the land of Inki. In the theosophy, they called him the old man Africa. But Africa wasn't called Africa before the Berlin Conference. So, but it was called Eastern Ethiopia, was Indus Valley, and Ethiopia proper was the Ethiops that the Greeks renamed. Land of the burnt faces.
Okay.
Egyptos, land of the dark faces.
Let's get to another question. Let's see. I think Rod answered this one already. The black nobility. Yeah, he already talked about the black nobility. So I'm gonna try to get to a question that. All right. Somebody said, will we ever have access to other lands outside the Antarctica ice wall?
You got access now if you can afford to get there. But the wall is not a wall, it's a shelf.
It's a what?
A shelf.
What you mean?
You ever see that tree stump they call a mountain in Arizona?
Yeah.
You see how the top of it is flat?
Uh-huh.
But the sides of it go up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the shelf. The top is the shelf.
Okay.
Right? What they call in the ice wall is just the outside of the freeze zone. Right? A lot of the icebergs over the millennia have broken off from there and floated into the oceans at different places and eventually melted.
Right.
But it's the wall has a shelf on the top that covers the land, most of the land of Antarctica. All of it not covered with ice, just most of it. But they came from a splash. So imagine a upsplash of water suddenly freeze.
Right.
Right? that's what happened because it pierced in the last Anunnaki war that caused the ice age, that nuclear winter. It shifted the Earth in its atmosphere, like pushed the yolk outside of the egg, right? And then it got flash froze. That's what make it be frozen.
All right, all right. I think that is it, y'all. That is it. I guess this is a good way to conclude the show, Rod. They want to know, what are we supposed to be doing as a people right now to prepare for what's to come? This is the conclude the show tonight, y'all. What should we be doing to prepare for what's to come, Rod?
Study family banking, build stronger family ties, and communicate as much as possible with like-minded people in the open as much as possible. And don't fall for none of the fear tactics. And we good.
So we should be getting closer to our family, you saying?
Yeah.
Rod, a lot of people don't fuck with their family, Rod. I'm sorry to tell you, man. People be like,
listen, Rich, even if they don't mess with their own family, they mess with a family.
Yeah, you're right.
They got a family that they love. Like, this the family I should have been born in.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the tribe energy. They tribing up doing that.
Right.
Your relatives is people you born with. Your friends is the family you pick, and your family is the ones that ride with you till the wheels fall off.
Right.
The bonds of affection is tied by the ties of loyalty, right? And you know the ones that got your best interest at heart. Like anywhere I go, if I got a relative there, I can pull up and go get a blanket out the closet and lay down and go to sleep.
Right.
They're not gonna have no problem with it. But there's some people that can't do that.
Yeah.
They show up at their family house, they might meet firearms.
Yeah.
But everybody got a family that they click with.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we never had orphans. Because somebody gonna take you in. But the family dynamic is not gonna change. Family gonna have a family structure. They're gonna have strong ties. They're gonna enjoy each other. They're gonna commonly gather. You know, and do what family do.
Indeed. Oh man, what a show, right, y'all? What we got? We got about 3,000 people in the chat. I know y'all enjoyed it. Y'all done stuck around, man. All 3,000 y'all done stuck around. Man, Rod, what a show, man. I'm glad I called you to do this show tonight. I'm glad we chose the topic. Once again, family, me and Rod gonna do a part 2 to help us to tap into our ESP, extrasensory perception, telepathy, telekinesis, all that good stuff, all these abilities we got. We're going to do a part 2 of my Patreon next week. Definitely make sure you're a part of Patreon, family. Also, the 9 the God Fest will be on Patreon as well. So you want to be a Patreon to get all of the goodies. All right. Rod, any contact info you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
You know, they can find me on Facebook at Rod Hayes. My profile and background change often. And you can find me on the SikApe on Instagram. Otherwise, you catch me here with Brother Rich or with the Young Elder over there. And occasionally other people invite me, and I show up there too. Shout out to True Seekers 88. They had me on there a couple times on Rumble. Right? The reason why they call it the sandbar is the reference to the Plymouth. Because they had to keep that ship out there in order to maintain the term called occupation. If you don't understand military occupation, then you don't even, that's why you can't unravel American history. The military occupation is something that happened as a result of a war and an invasion. If you go back to 2001, you can get a crash course in military occupation of two countries after 9/11, Iraq and Afghanistan. They handled both of them different, but they occupied both of them, right? One, they established a whole new leadership regime right? And the other one, they just shifted the political party that was ruling out of the picture and put an alternative political party in power. The side effect to that is the political party they put in power was infiltrated by the political party that they ousted and then reclaimed under the same name that you put out there. And that's why they keep saying America never won a war. They say we won, but we always end up paying the bill like we losing. Look, the Cold War.
Right.
If you get a 1995, 85, 75 almanac, and you look for gross domestic product, gross national product, right? Then you look for economic aid. Go to the country of Russia, and it's going to tell you in there exactly how much annual aid Russia, the USSR, was getting from the United States. It roughly was about $6 billion a year, right? When Israel was established, America was paying Israel under the pretense of World War II reparations. So that means that we had to lose to Germany. Operation Paperclip.
Yeah,
right?
I was wondering why they was paying them, bro. You just told me that why, because I was like, damn, why we paying? They lost to Germany, the one that did them, you know.
So they want us to think we won the First World War, the Second World War. They want us to think that the same people won the Civil War, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the American Revolution. That's not the case. Anything that would cause what's called lose face, right? If anything caused you to lose face, that means you lose value in the presence of others. Then they have to cover that up. They don't want you to know they weak as they are, because they relying on you to let them use your strength that you don't even know you lending them.
I didn't even know that them. That's the reason why they were paying. Because I was trying to figure out, why is America paying Israel for what Germany did to them? They don't even make no sense. So now,
if you go through the almanac, almost every country America was giving economic aid to. Some of them is classified, most of them is economic aid or some kind of financial relief. Mm-hmm. And we the richest country in the world, well, we paying every country in the world. Right. That don't make sense. You can't keep your status if you got a leak in your rear end.
Yeah. That's what Donald Trump said about the that we was paying $300 billion or something to Canada every year. And then I know why they pay Japan. Japan is because of the they dropped the bomb on them, and that's like international type, things when they gotta, but what's the deal on that? Go ahead.
The pride of the Japanese, they've been stopped accepting reparations for World War II.
Yeah.
You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to outdo America in auto manufacturing, clothing manufacturing, technical manufacturing, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And hold on one second now, this is calling.
Hey, y'all, if you just not tuning in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, man. We got SikApe in the Northgate. We're going to take questions, get some of y'all questions from the crowd, man, so we can, take some of the questions y'all might have. And I got a couple of questions for Rod to start it out, and then we'll take questions from y'all. So if you're just not tuning in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share it. And we're going to crack heads and twist caps, man. You already know how Rod do it. We picking the lock here. We picking we going through the time machine, and we piecing the puzzle together. Most of my questions is stimulated around. We're gonna get to your questions, Sugar Shane. Hey, most of my questions is stimulated around what's going on now. Hey, Rod. So you left off while Japan said that they don't want to take no money from U.S. dollars no more. Nobody wants the U.S. dollar for that matter.
Well, that was before BRICS.
Go ahead.
Japan is trying to outcompete in productivity and quality products. Hold on. Let's show you something. I was working at GM. They was telling us about this guy, and I started doing research on him. His name is Dr. Deming, and he came up with this quality program for productivity, quality, what they call quality control measures. The Japanese, when Ford, Chrysler, GM turned him down and said they didn't want to hear it. So because he was already an auto executive, he was going on a trip to Japan. He presented it to the Japanese auto manufacturers. This is where your Lexus come from, your Lexus and your Infiniti. So when he presented it to them, they was like, that's the key, because if you go back to before the 70s and even in the 70s, when you seen something that has a stamp on it said made in America, you knew you had some top of the line A1 best made stuff on the planet. Don't nobody do it like us. But now we doing everything using cheaper material, shortcutting the labor to maximize profits, and is making the products crap. So they stick to the quality dynamic. So they stealing our reputation by stealing our quality productivity ratio that we used to maintain, right? That's the difference in the architecture of old and the architecture of today. Some of these buildings is 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 years old. They look like they was built 200 years ago. And some of these new buildings been around 30, 40 years. They look like it's time to tear them down. Right?
That's facts. Hey, now, but now that, okay, this is my next question for you, because we got Trump in there. He rolling out the plan. Well, people say, oh, he went down by paying 2025, but it seemed like to me he rolling it right out, straight out the gate. Now, this real ID thing, you heard anything about that? Because I looked it up and it said May 7th that they'll be rolling out this real ID. And
the real ID came out in 2010. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it said like they had a mandate on there. I looked it up. I think it was 20.
Go look up what a mandate. You got Google on your
law. Yeah, mandate not a law. I know mandate not a law. Law or request, a mandate or ordinance, a code. None of them. You know what I'm saying? We can get into that if you for my Morris. But I'm saying,
you know, we went over what a mandate is, and I know a lot of the sisters been around for a minute. They don't want no mandate.
They don't want no mandate. All right, we'll go to the next question. So my next question is, because people was asking, because I'm really going off the questions that the people asked in the recent shows. We're gonna come back on asking this.